Imagine living in a world gripped by fear and uncertainty where a mysterious disease sweeps across countries leaving devastation in its wake. No one quite understands where it came from or how to stop it. This may sound like a scene from the early days of COVID-19, but what if I told you this happened long before our time? Long before the coronavirus dominated our lives, there was another pandemic that the world has almost forgotten, and its lessons are more important now than ever. Today I invite you to step back in time with me to uncover the story of a pandemic that once terrified the world but now lives only faintly in the pages of dusty history books. A story not just about disease but about resilience, science, and the extraordinary ways humanity fought back. Before COVID-19, the world faced many pandemics, but one stands out for its eerie similarities and haunting differences: the Spanish flu of 1918. Unlike the seasonal influenza we know today, the Spanish flu was a monster of a different kind. It appeared without warning during the final months of World War I, and it moved faster than anyone had ever seen a disease move before. Imagine soldiers already exhausted from years of brutal warfare now falling prey to an invisible enemy. In the trenches of Europe, in the bustling cities of America, and in the remote villages of the world, the Spanish flu spared no one. It attacked the young and healthy with a viciousness that baffled doctors. Hospitals overflowed, morgues were overwhelmed, and mass graves became grim necessities. But the Spanish flu was not just another chapter in the history of disease. It was a turning point in how we understood viruses, public health, and global cooperation. It forced scientists to think differently, to work together across borders, and to recognize that microscopic threats could be as devastating as any war. Interestingly, the name Spanish flu is a misnomer. Spain was simply one of the few countries that reported openly about the outbreak because it was not heavily censored during wartime. The virus itself likely originated elsewhere, perhaps in military camps or even rural farms where close human and animal contact created the perfect breeding ground for new pathogens. Over the course of 2 years, the Spanish flu infected an estimated 500 million people, about 1/3 of the global population at the time. Death estimates range from 20 million to as high as 50 million or even more, making it one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. Yet, despite its catastrophic impact, the Spanish flu quickly faded from public memory. Why? Because the world was tired. After the horrors of World War I, people wanted to move on, to rebuild, to forget. Newspapers stopped reporting on it. Governments downplayed it. And as the decades passed, the memory of the Spanish flu was gradually buried beneath more immediate concerns. When COVID-19 emerged in late 2019, few immediately thought to draw comparisons to 1918. But the parallels became undeniable. The swift spread, the overwhelmed hospitals, the public debates over masks and quarantines, the desperate race for vaccines — it was all there a century apart. History, if we pay attention, offers not just warnings but blueprints. During the Spanish flu, public health measures like mask mandates, social distancing, and isolation were fiercely debated, just as they are today. Some cities that acted quickly saw lower death rates, while others that hesitated suffered greatly. The lessons were clear, yet as COVID spread across the globe, many of the same mistakes were repeated. There is a haunting beauty in the resilience humanity showed both then and now. In 1918, scientists lacked the tools to see viruses under a microscope, yet they still managed to organize community responses, promote public health, and eventually adapt. In our time, technology has given us incredible advantages: vaccines developed at record speed, genetic sequencing, contact tracing through apps, and yet the core challenges of human behavior, trust, and collective action remain strikingly familiar. The story of the forgotten pandemic is more than a historical curiosity. It is a mirror reflecting both our progress and our vulnerabilities. It reminds us that pandemics do not just test our medical knowledge, they test our societies, our politics, and our compassion. As we emerge from COVID-19 into an uncertain future, it is worth asking, what have we truly learned? What will we remember? And perhaps most importantly, what will we forget again? The forgotten pandemic before COVID was a warning, a trial run, a stark reminder that in a world more connected than ever, viruses do not respect borders, time, or memory. If history teaches us anything, it is that the battle against pandemics is never fully won. It is a story that demands to be retold, not just by scientists and historians, but by all of us, by every person who understands that knowledge is our greatest shield against fear. So the next time you hear about a new virus on the news or see debates about public health measures unfold, remember the quiet graves of 1918, the lost voices, and the lessons hard-earned but so easily forgotten. This is not just a story about the past, it is a map for the future, a future we all have the power to shape if only we remember. Thank you for walking through this journey with me. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and never stop learning.